In a capitalist society, we banner and send money and resources to things that reinforce that pursuit of happiness moment. Like, oh, that was worth it. See the tears? See it? Is anyone around? See how happy I am because I put myself through that? And I know that that's alienating. People are like, shut the fuck up! Don't ruin the game! But we're talking about enlightenment here.
You're in heaven right now and you're messing it up. That is the video we are reacting to, done by the Library of Tehuti. They always have really good, interesting subjects, so I think this should be a fun one to react to. But anyway, guys, won't keep you waiting. Let's get into it.
Look around you right now. Really look. What do you see? A room, objects, maybe light coming through a window? Here's what you're missing. You're literally standing in heaven. Not a future heaven, not some promised afterlife, but right here, right now. And you can't see it. Your consciousness, that awareness absorbing these words, exists in a state of infinite potential. Yet society has conditioned you to perceive limitation, scarcity, and separation instead. You've been trained to seek paradise through religious devotion, material success, or death itself. Meanwhile, the eternal state of bliss surrounds you, permeates you, is you. The Upanishads illuminate this truth, that which is the finest essence. This whole world has that as its soul. That is reality. That is the self. That you are. Picture a fish swimming frantically through the ocean, desperately searching for water. Seems absurd, right? Yet humanity does exactly this, seeking heaven while existing within it. Your very ability to perceive, think, feel, to be aware, stems from your inherent divine nature. The consciousness experiencing this moment is paradise itself. But instead of recognizing this truth, humans create suffering through misperception. We pollute the environment, wage wars, and spread hatred, all while standing in the Garden of Eden. We wait for salvation while salvation waits for our recognition. We've created hell within heaven through our own blindness. Think about your own life. How many moments have you missed because you were waiting for something better? The birds singing outside your window, the rhythm of your breath, the miracle of existence itself. These aren't separate from heaven. They are heaven expressing itself through the unique form of your experience. The Zen masters understood this perfectly. When asked about the nature of enlightenment, Master Huangpo said, "It is right here, but you do not see it. Your search for paradise blinds you to its omnipresence. Your concepts of what heaven should be prevent you from recognizing heaven as it is. Your brain creates reality based on what you believe is possible. Right now, paradise surrounds you, yet you've trained yourself not to see it. You've accepted a story of separation, a narrative that places heaven somewhere else, sometime else, when it saturates every atom of existence. Notice your daily experience. You wake up breathing without effort. Your heart beats without your conscious control. Stars spin through space while gravity holds you perfectly in place. These aren't mundane occurrences. They're expressions of paradise functioning through you as you. Your senses take in millions of bits of information each second, yet you notice only what aligns with your current beliefs. When you believe paradise exists elsewhere, your mind filters out its presence here. You program yourself to overlook heaven while standing in it.
I'm not going to stop this too many times, but a couple of things came to mind. Remember recently when we were at like a thing and the kids were there and they were like, "Stop it!" And you were like just giving in to. I don't remember what you were doing, but you were like just enjoying the moment or something.
You cringe.
And they were like, "That's so cringe! Stop it!" And they're like hiding their faces and stuff. I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I think about sometimes they always associate the same things about somebody that's realized heaven's around them, like they notice the birds. And by the way, I'm digging this video. I'm not making fun of the video, but it's like, they notice the birds and they notice the flowers. Like, it's always like, you're boring. It's always like some dude at the park, like feeding the, some boring ass shit. And to me, I feel like, wouldn't it also be reveling in what is? Like, there's a scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where a riot breaks out and Jake's like pretending to be, I forget what happens, but he's like pretending to have been disturbed by the riot too. And the captain's like, at one point I heard you yell, I love this. Like there's things that seem not heavenly that we love and you could be in heaven in. Yeah. Like the rocker in the mosh pit at a rock concert. Like, I love this. And it's not listening to birds tweet. You know what I mean? Like one of the things I really love is my own imagination. It doesn't mean I'm like a hermit that never goes out or doesn't have any friends or something like that. But I love getting lost in my own imagination, notably like before bed. Yeah. Like closing my eyes and letting the hypnagogia take me to all kinds of realms, I love it. That's heavenly to me. Yeah. And it doesn't even involve anything other than my own damn mind. You know what I mean? And so I think that for some reason, it's always synonymous with like nature and birds and something like that, which is fine. But I think it's also fine to be like a comedian that his whole joke is that birds irritate him. Birds irritate me, and everyone laughs. That's heavenly too.
Yeah, well, I think it also can distract from the colossal elephant in the room, because if heaven is here and now, then darkness is a part of heaven. And all the horrible, terrible crap that embodies it. And that is a truth for, I think, those who, very few, are willing to accept that side of things. And I don't even know if I'm willing to accept, if I'm being honest with myself, that side of things. It's like, listen to what is being said here.
What gives you the courage to spelunk into the caverns of your own inner Jungian shadow darkness? Yeah. It's often like establishment, like, when you're like, you know what, I've been a good guy today. I've been a good spouse and I've been a good worker and I've paid my bills and I've got everything right. Sometimes you might find yourself up to like a hike or up to watching a scary movie or up to listening to someone complain about their day. Like, I'm actually having a hard time. You're like, let me like be an ear to listen to, because I can handle it now. I'm killing it in life. But then other times you're like, life's been real scary and I'm sorry, I can't right now. I've got too much on my plate. I can't listen to your thing. And I actually want to retreat into safety. It's usually like weighed against something else. All that stuff exists here. Just monitor your own proclivity towards one or the other. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that actually make sense?
It does. It addresses one aspect of it, but I do think there is another loaded side of this. And I don't even know if there is an answer for it.
Well, I mean, if you look at, let's say evolution's real for a moment. Let's like hypothesize that it's real or something. Yeah. And you go, well, it started from like, cosmic cataclysmic events, things smashing into each other, and then volcanic blasts, and then mire, which things slithered out of and start eating each other. Like, it comes from like organic, biological, disgusting things to the point where we make fine art and like, angels touching the hand of God paintings. Like, we reach upwards out of that. Yeah. But it doesn't mean it's not like, there could be a historian that, like, my specialty is ancient battles. I've never assaulted anyone, never even been in a fight, not into violence, don't even watch MMA, but I'm into learning about past horrific events. Yeah. Why is that there? Is it like, whoops, well, we're just there to learn from God's, stupid mistake of early human? It's not about necessarily good or bad, in my opinion. It's about, like, recognizing trajectory. Like, where are we going? Where is this going? What am I honest about? Like, if you got the wrong idea, bottom line, I'll close it with this. Yeah. Is if somebody was like, you saw the master and he was like drinking tea in a garden by birds. And he was like, one day you'll understand what's so good about tea and birds. The guy for like 20 years is drinking tea by birds and like, I fucking hate these birds. I don't want to drink tea near birds, man. Yeah. You're like not wrong for not being into that. Yeah. That's not like necessarily just the only spot heaven resides. Yeah. You could go inward. You could go you could go to a, arcade. You could go see a movie. You could go to a concert. You could go be around friends. You could play a board game. You play video games. You make love with your spouse. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But that is the heaven.
Yeah.
The oyster that is yet to be exhumed. Like, there's so much to learn. I'm free, finally.
Yeah.
You know, but if it has to be away, that's why I sustain this kind of frantic character that I do on here. Because the temptation is to be like, oh, you catch a lot more bees with honey. So it'll just be a smooth honey, you know, and then one day you'll be peaceful like me. And I think people do that. I think they literally are like, it's just more effective if I never show my hostile side.
Yeah.
And if I make things really easy and palatable, I convince more people. But I want to show the side of it it's okay to have adrenaline. It's okay to be, have your endorphins right in front of everybody to see, embarrassingly.
Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the aliveness in your body. Notice the awareness watching your thoughts drift by. That consciousness observing your experience. That's paradise itself. It never changes, never diminishes, never becomes less than perfect. You've simply forgotten to notice it. Reality exists as pure potential until observed by consciousness. Your beliefs collapse infinite possibilities into your experienced reality. When you believe in separation from paradise, you manifest that very separation. You create the walls between yourself and heaven through your own perception. If you're starting to see how this all connects, then give us a like and subscribe. I'll continue to teach you about where the real you actually is right now. Your brain operates as a filtering system, not a creator of consciousness. Science shows your neurons fire in patterns that either reveal or conceal paradise based on your conditioning. When you understand this mechanism, you can start dismantling the filters that hide heaven from your perception. Each neural pathway in your brain strengthens with use. Every time you overlook paradise for a future promise, you reinforce the circuitry of separation. Your brain becomes more efficient at missing what's right here. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature you've programmed through repetition. The brain's default mode network activates whenever you're not focused on a specific task. This network generates the story of me, a separate self-seeking paradise elsewhere. Yet brain scans of long-term meditators show reduced activity in this network. As the story of separation quiets, the reality of paradise becomes obvious. Your nervous system responds to perceived threats by contracting, creating tension in the body and narrowing your perception. This survival mechanism served ancient humans well, but now it perpetuates the illusion of separation from paradise. Your body armors itself against the heaven it exists within. Neuroscience reveals something remarkable about attention. Your brain processes information differently based on what you expect to find. When you expect paradise to be elsewhere, your neural circuits actively filter out evidence of its presence here. You're using the most sophisticated technology in the known universe to hide heaven from yourself. The brain's neuroplasticity means these patterns can change. Each time you notice the perfection of awareness itself, you create new neural pathways. Each moment of recognition strengthens these circuits of realization. You're rewiring your brain to stop overlooking paradise. Your sensory systems process vastly more information than reaches conscious awareness. Of the millions of bits of data available each second, your brain selects only what matches your current beliefs and expectations. This selection process happens before conscious thought. You never even see what you filtered out. The reticular activating system in your brainstem acts as reality's gatekeeper, determining what information reaches consciousness. This system responds to what you believe is important. When you believe paradise must be earned or found elsewhere, your RAS filters out evidence of its presence now. Brain imaging studies show activity in the posterior cingulate cortex decreases during experiences of non-dual awareness, when the sense of separation dissolves. This suggests your brain knows how to recognize paradise. It simply needs retraining to stop creating the illusion of separation. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and future thinking, often overrides your natural capacity to recognize paradise. While planning serves practical purposes, constant future orientation blinds you to heaven's presence now. Your brain's executive function becomes an executive dysfunction when it comes to recognizing reality. Gamma wave synchronization across different brain regions correlates with experiences of unity consciousness. Your brain harmonizes when you stop creating the illusion of separation. The neural symphony plays Paradise's song when you stop conducting the orchestra of seeking. The architecture of your brain contains specific circuits dedicated to recognizing reality. These neural networks activate when you stop creating the illusion of separation. Brain imaging studies show increased activity in the posterior cingulate cortex during moments of pure awareness, when the veil between you and paradise temporarily lifts. Your brain's default mode network, active whenever you're not focused on a specific task, generates the persistent illusion of a separate self-seeking paradise. This network burns through massive amounts of energy maintaining this illusion. When activity in this network decreases, the recognition of paradise naturally occurs. The hippocampus, crucial for memory formation, stores every moment you've overlooked paradise. These accumulated memories create a template expecting separation. Your brain references this template automatically, filtering present experience through past oversight. Breaking this pattern requires conscious intervention in this unconscious process. Neurotransmitters play a vital role in this process. Dopamine, the reward chemical, spikes during seeking behavior. Your brain becomes addicted to the search for paradise, preferring the chemical rush of seeking over the recognition of what's already here. This creates a biological barrier to seeing reality. The insula, responsible for interoception, sensing your body's internal state, can either reveal or conceal paradise. When operating from seeking mode, it generates sensations of lack and incompleteness. When allowed to function naturally, it reveals the perfection already present in every cell. Your brain's mirror neuron system, designed for learning through observation, picks up others' blindness to paradise. You unconsciously mirror the seeking behavior of those around you, creating a collective reinforcement of oversight. This neural mimicry perpetuates the illusion across entire societies. Comment below if you're starting to understand how our brains play a huge role in seeking, which constantly leads to dissatisfaction and dysfunction.
Oh, I thought we were going to wait till the end.
Man, oh man. I feel like this channel is wildly underrated, but I get it because it's sophisticated content. That was like very sciencey and pointing to some things that I think people don't think about, man.
I'm just glad it exists. I'm just glad that things like this exist at all. Because I won't lie and say I follow all of it. A lot of it's kind of above, I wasn't paying attention as hard as I could either.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, I can't pretend to know what some of that was. But I appreciate this because there's a lot of stuff I identify as pretty profound and interesting.
Yeah, like a lot pointing to where you're putting your attention, man. And and the obvious addiction we have to thinking about the future constantly.
Yeah.
And just breaking that illusion that hey, heaven's, somewhere else. You always got from the time you're born, you're born into a reality saying, look over the hill, look over here when it's right now. Like, imagine what would happen to you as a child if everyone around you was saying, "It's perfect. You're here. You made it to heaven. Welcome. Welcome. You made it to heaven right now."
That was the entryway.
And rather than, oh man, you got to fix everything about you, and you got to.
Well, thankfully, we kind of do that. I see what you're saying. It's still a brilliant thought, but we kind of do, because you look at children and the environment they're grown into, and it is a little bit like people are extra happy. We put them in daycares where it's just nice colors and things they can play with that are,
And it starts getting ugly as they get older.
Well, I'll tell you where it starts getting ugly it's Christmas morning and the kids like playing with a piece of wrapper, and it's like, no, we have 1,000 more gifts to get through first. Like, don't you like this? Don't you like this? Don't you like this? Kids is like, what happened to the paper I was playing with? I don't need that many fancy things. Or like all of a sudden the obligations that start to come in, after toddlerhood, into like more building up of an identity, which is why recently, not to be like a know-it-all or something, but I think this is pertinent. I was saying that I think a big one aspect of life is that you come into this world and you've got that childlike wonder. It's like magical. You're walking around, everything's captivating. You really are enamored by birds and flowers and stuff like that. And then you build up an identity, and then it's almost like the third act of your life is breaking apart that identity. Is like taking apart that identity that society built up all the way back to childhood again. And you think of the famous words of Christ, lest you become like children, ye shall in no way enter the kingdom, or whatever it is. You essentially says, be like children. And I think that sometimes that happens after middle age. You get to that age and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to spend so many hours at the office. I'm going to indulge in like hobbies, and I'm going to enjoy my grandkids. I can start taking it easy, and then it's like the golden years of your life, right? Yeah. But I agree with you. An evolved super society might find a way to maximize that magical part of life through an entire life cycle. Like, you made it, welcome to Earth, you're here, isn't this awesome? And do whatever you want. Go explore some things. It's not like you won't learn. Yeah. But we're so survival based still. We're still so inherently survival based that we bombard each other, despite the fact that there's billions of us to help carry the load. We're like very ideologically possessed. We're very like lifestyle obsessed, and there's a way of doing things.
Everybody wants to make sure that everyone's carrying as much as they are. So there's like this pressure to be like, and look at that guy over there not helping. He's not, bringing enough water for, I carried, 3 containers today.
True.
And he only carried 2.
True. And we don't live in a megalopolis. We don't live in a world where like the robots got everything covered yet. Yeah. There are places that are still like need help. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's like a reality too. It's not everywhere just there's infinite funds and robots. But I'm kind of like a utopian. I'm an idealist. We've been talking about heaven since the beginning. Yeah. I am pro figuring out how to do it. Yeah. So that we get to have heaven.
Sure. I'm on board too.
And so this video is a good step.
Let's get there. All right, we continue on.
Intellectual understanding won't transform your experience. You can grasp every concept about paradise, memorize every spiritual teaching, and understand all the neuroscience. But you still miss the actual living reality of heaven right here. Knowledge alone becomes another veil, another way to postpone direct recognition. The mind loves to collect spiritual concepts, to build sophisticated models of enlightenment. It creates beautiful maps of paradise while overlooking the territory beneath its feet. Notice how your mind might be doing this right now, trying to grasp what I'm saying conceptually rather than checking your direct experience. Real recognition happens in the raw immediacy of this moment. When you touch a doorknob, feel the temperature against your skin. When you drink water, taste its subtle qualities. When you walk, feel each step making contact with the ground. Paradise reveals itself in these simple sensations before thought divides experience into subject and object. Your daily life offers countless opportunities for recognition. Washing dishes becomes an opportunity to feel the warmth of the water, the texture of soap bubbles, and the sound of running water. Driving becomes a chance to notice the seamless coordination of perception and action. Even waiting in line at the grocery store becomes an opening to recognize the awareness in which impatience appears. The mind will resist this simplicity. It wants something more spectacular, more special. It seeks dramatic experiences, altered states, and mystical visions. But paradise doesn't need special effects. It's the ordinary magic of being aware, the simple fact of experience happening. Notice how suffering appears when you trade direct experience for mental concepts.
All right, last stop. I was just imagining somebody that's like, like, ooh, I can't wait to wash the dishes because I look forward to the warm water. Or like, oh, you're going to the bank. That's going to suck. Actually, I see it as an opportunity to observe what patience is, and then like how old that would get if people like stopped hanging around you. Like, I don't know, man. I can't vibe with that guy anymore. He gets way too much out of like sitting quietly. How long you'd be like, I'm lonely. Oh, well, this is an opportunity for me to bask in love. You know what? Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, I know. I hate politics too. Like how long it would take for you to just, because you ever tried that? Like I can almost guarantee you've tried that where you're like, feel the steps that you're taking and feel the coldness of the thing. Yeah. And the inner dialogue, that's really just another inner dialogue that's like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing special about the feel of a stupid doorknob.
Like, I'm in pain.
Yeah. But explore that pain. It's only so long for you. Like, give me a beer and a friggin' bag of chips so I can gorge out and, And so I just wanted to, in case anybody was feeling that or thinking that, and how does that play into that? How does it like, nothing like eating so much that the only thing you can pull yourself together to do is go, my stomach is full. Like, I love doing that. I love eating to the point where I'm like, can't wear pants anymore because I'm too fat.
Well, you got to sometimes take it. You got to sometimes go the distance to get the thing that you're actually looking for. There is like the idea that sometimes good things come to those who wait comes into play here.
Yeah, but how much of it is bull? Like, I know that I've been this douchebag, and I know people do it where they're like, I get it. I've had a Satori and I like get it now. Well, you'll get there. Just washing the dishes. And you gotta like watch them. Good things come to those who are like, wait for the other shoe to drop too. Like, there you are, idiot. Back to drinking and screwing around, Like, it's one thing to be pretentious. You know what I mean? Yeah. Good things come to those who wait. Just like, I want to like resonate on that.
I want to say sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
good things come to those who wait. But I'm bringing into question what those good things are. I'm saying like, that could look like anything. It could look like, I love being absent-minded. I love not considering how the water feels in my hands when I'm doing dishes. I think people get wrapped into a dramatic thing. Like, remember that scene in The Pursuit of Happiness when Will Smith's like clapping his hands because he finally got the job? Like, it was all worth it.
Maybe the idea is just to not think that it has to be a way.
Correct. That is definitely part of it. But in a capitalist society, we banner and send money and resources to things that reinforce that pursuit of happiness moment. Like, oh, that was worth it. See the tears? See it? Is anyone around? See how happy I am because I put myself through that? And I know that that's alienating. People are like, shut the fuck up. Don't ruin the game. But we're talking about enlightenment here. Okay? And I've had experiences where good news came and it literally made me to tears, only for several months later to be like, this ain't even what I thought it was. What was all that dramatic? I do have worth. I have worth and I earned it. What was that for? A few months later, it's like people are like, like I'm having like a crisis now that you're talking. Like, I guess I should go into a depression, not do anything. Like maybe, like calm down, everyone. Maybe you should go into a depression every now and then and not do anything for a couple of weeks. And then you'd be like, I'm free to do anything. But only once you've lost everything, you're free to do anything.
Okay.
Oh, that's been said so many times. Tyler Durden said it. Jesus alluded to that. He who loses his life for me gains it. You know, sometimes it's only when you've lost everything, even the concepts, even the need to grasp onto it. So I guess it'll look like this. And I guess I'll be able to recognize it and others will be able to recognize it because I'll be more chilled out and be like washing my hands conscientiously. That's how we'll all know. I'm like against that. I'm against you. I'm against thou, Satan. Get behind me. I'm against it. Sometimes, but only you know at the end of the day if you're being pretentious or not.
Yeah.
Only the individual. And for some people, their enlightenment. You read about some. They don't make it to the forefront of the roster of enlightened superstars. It's always like the guy that everyone's like. It sounds like a dude I would chill with, Buddha. But there are guys that were like drunks, who would dip their hair in ink and like paint with their drunken hair. That were like the master of the temple or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them were prone to fits of anger.
Well, how do we not know that like the most enlightened or the most, self-realized people are all the people you've never heard of before.
Total possibility.
Yeah, like
total possibility.
Yeah. They purposely, like maybe the thing about being the most enlightened is that no one will ever know that you
probably not.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I don't actually. Why would I say probably not? Maybe. Good chance, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
drank too much coffee. I apologize. That's why I'm sweating and feel good.
We got a little bit left and we'll finish this up.
Yeah.
Physical pain becomes psychological torment through the story of why me. Relationship challenges become unbearable through narratives of blame. Financial stress intensifies through beliefs about lack. The mind's commentary creates a secondary layer of suffering on top of raw experience. Your body knows paradise directly. Every cell vibrates with the intelligence that orchestrates billions of complex processes without conscious control. Your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your wounds heal, all without consulting your thoughts. This innate wisdom doesn't need concepts to function perfectly. The senses perceive without interpretation. Eyes see colors and forms without naming them. Ears hear sounds without categorizing them. Skin feels sensations without judging them. Before thought divides experience into good and bad, desirable and undesirable, the senses receive reality purely. Even emotions, before being labeled and resisted, are simply energy moving through your body. Anger is sensation and movement. Fear is alertness and activation. Sadness is heaviness and contraction. Without the mind story, emotions flow naturally like weather patterns through the sky of awareness. Paradise isn't a concept to understand, but a reality to live. Each moment offers a fresh opportunity to drop out of mental commentary into direct experience. Each breath invites you to notice the awareness in which all experiences appear. Each sensation calls you back to the simplicity of being. The recognition I'm pointing to isn't something you can achieve through effort. It's what remains when you stop overlooking the obvious. When you cease trying to reach paradise and notice it's already fully present as your own aware nature. When you allow experience to be exactly as it is without mental interference. Your true nature as awareness doesn't need to be cultivated or improved. It's already perfect, already complete. What needs attention is your habit of overlooking it in favor of concepts, beliefs, and mental images. Your tendency to trade direct experience for second-hand knowledge. So right now, in this moment, can you set aside everything you think you know? Can you meet this moment fresh without preconceptions? Can you allow experience to be as it is without trying to change it or understand it? Paradise reveals itself in this simple allowing, this direct recognition of what's already here. The choice is always now, to recognize paradise or continue seeking it, to rest in awareness or chase concepts, to live from direct experience or remain caught in mental abstractions. No one else can make this recognition for you. No teaching can give you what you already are. Only you can notice the heaven that's been here all along, waiting patiently for your recognition.
Unbelievable. That's it. That's the answer you're looking for.
Yes, this is good stuff. Go check out Library of Tehuti. Not only good content there, but the imagery is always awesome on those videos. I don't know how they put it together. Maybe we need to ask whoever's the creator of that channel to be on our show, interview them. But good stuff out there. I don't really have anything to add. That was kind of like a lengthy one. It was.
I can't add anything that's just not too crazy to be like anything I would add is just too out there right now. So good. That seems like the answer. Many people are like, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, you could think about that one for a while, I'm sure. Well, guys, hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you're in heaven now. You've arrived.
Whether you know it or not,
you're there.
Hopefully you know it.
And if you liked our reaction, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone until next time.
Stay spiritual.